So Jackie, I've got us on Facebook Live, and we're recording this, so I'll send it to you when we're done. You can blast it too. So hopefully, like I said, the girls don't dive in here. So sorry, I hear footsteps. Let's just jump in here. Are you busy?
Yes, extremely busy. Busiest I've been. So I've been in this industry since 2004. And obviously 2007 and 8 were crazy times, but I haven't really seen anything like this before, with obviously the refis right now. So interest rates are very, very low. We touched down to lowest we've ever been about 3.5 weeks ago, almost a month, but we only touched there for about 48 hours. It was very, very short-lived. So we touched down, and then by the end of that week, we went up almost 3/4 of a point. And the next week, we were up 3/4 of a point to the point from where we were on the lows. So it was very, very emotional for everybody. And then, so for about 2 weeks, we sat a little bit higher, and then we've, trickled back down here now with the Fed's buy-in. So we have a major liquidity issue right now, or we have a liquidity issue, and that's why the rates had went up so much so fast. We were trying to.
It's almost like an artificial high rate at the moment, right? Because
yes.
of liquidity, right? So the banks raise those to try to stop that.
Yes. So the influx of the applications, the banks were just like, there's no way they can keep up with that, right? There was something that I read or heard was some of these banks were about 7 months worth of supply when, they're trying to close those off in 30 to 60 days, when it's like, how can you do that? So, a lot of corresponding lenders are on warehouse wire lines, where a lot of people were concerned with that and the money. We, and I've got everything confirmed, we are solid there with our warehouse wire lines. We have not had any issues of not funding anything. So really happy, to be at the company I'm at. So
sweet. So we've heard a lot this week about FHA, VA, and jumbo. What the heck is going on?
Yeah. So I have a borrower, actually, I was just on the phone with before you, FHA 660 is his score. And we, CNN Mortgage, our mid FICO score on FHA today, effective yesterday, is 660. So we were at a 580 about a month ago, went to 620, and now effective 660. And at 660, it's ugly. At 660 with 3.5% down is about a cost of $6,000 just as a discount origination.
Wow.
So that on top of all the fees, it's very expensive to get into a FHA loan with a low FICO score right now.
Gotcha.
But remember,
do we anticipate those changes again, or those changing again as those scores, or is this pretty much the highest that we're going to hit until this liquidity issue gets fixed?
We're not sure. We might go to 680. Some lenders might go to 680. I think, it really depends on the companies and the banks, et cetera, of where they have their minimum scores. We do think that it could possibly go to 680 if this continues to get worse.
And is that the same on the VA score? It's a 660?
That's on VA as well. Yeah. USDA, we're still doing USDA. So I know there's not a lot of USDA out there, but we are still doing USDA loans. Jumbo, back like in 2008 when, we were kind of going through these times, there's just not a lot of appetite for those type of loans right now. They're riskier loans. So those investors have really backed off on those. The guidelines, the rates have went up. We're seeing guideline changes on a lot of those. So it's really investor specific on those, and down payment, credit score, et cetera. So I don't want to get into too much details on those, but yeah, we've seen those dry up.
So what are our options on jumbo stuff? Just so everybody knows, what's our price point? Above what level is a jumbo loan?
Oh, above 500 and those. I don't have, it's like 515 or something is our max conforming.
And that would be the loan amount, right? So your purchase price is like 600, 625, something like that.
How much you're going to put down, 20 to 25% down on those jumbos. those. Yeah. I
That-
haven't seen, a lot of the guidelines on those, like if you have to put more down or not. I know we were doing, the 80-10-10s on those, the 90 jumbos. It's just the pricing on them is so ugly. I'm sure we're going to see though, the down payments change on those as well.
But an 80-10-10 is still an option, right? So you could go and get a second loan to help cover that down payment to offset that jumbo so that you stay within conventional numbers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've heard some of that going on in our office right now is doing those kind of loans to be able to keep deals together. So we're having to get a little bit creative and
Right.
solutions to keep deals together, and they're staying together and people
Right.
still want to buy. So that's what's important right now.
Right. Yeah, we definitely still, I'm really surprised at how busy my phone is for purchase business still. People still, have saved their money, and we were in a roaring economy, a month ago, and, people have had, their dream is to buy a home, and this was the time for them. Right. So, I am still seeing, people buy, people are moving here. I have a client moving from Colorado, from California, and they still want to buy versus rent, because the rental market is, you can touch on, there as well.
Sorry. Hang on. I'm going to shut people out of the office again. Little people. Yeah. Hold on. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Hopefully she figures it out. So what kind of projections, I think we've kind of talked about it already, as to where we see qualifications going until the liquidity issue gets better. If like nothing else changes, are we thinking that this is going to be something that continues for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months? Do you have any idea on how quickly a bank can recover its liquidity to be able to drop some of these regulations and restrictions?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I reached out to, the owners and management at our company on that. And, obviously the Fed stepped in, purchasing mortgage-backed securities and stuff. But I think just, the whole liquidity issue is obviously based on the current situation. So until we really know and get a handle on this, I think obviously the next couple months are going to be really, really tough for that.
Gotcha. And are you seeing any issues as appraisals come in? I know we had a couple that came in a touch higher than we were expecting, which is good. But we've heard about a lot of low appraisals lately too, although I haven't seen any on my desk yet.
Yeah, no, actually the last two that I got, I was kind of surprised as well on my refis. We were maybe expecting, I think, 550 on one, and it came in at 582. And then I think I was expecting around 450, and it came in at like 465. So the appraisals I haven't seen coming in low on my desk either for purchase or refinance, based on kind of, markets that, I've analyzed.
Yep.
But the turn times on appraisals has gone up. Some areas, especially like, northern Arizona and stuff, have gone up to almost, some of them are 3 weeks to get an appraisal back in some areas. So the turn times are longer. Obviously the way that they're doing appraisals, there are some, I'm reading about some companies are allowing like desk reviews and exterior drive-bys, etc. Not every company is allowing those, so it's really investor specific on those. So if you are reading, on the internet that you don't have to have an appraisal now, that may not be true for all investors. So we are kind of going off who we lock with, read the investor guidelines, and go from there on that. But we definitely, I don't feel that we've seen much of a major decline yet, which is good.
Yeah, that is good. We haven't really seen much as far as prices go. We've seen a lot of buyers all of a sudden, with some economic volatility, are expecting everything to just automatically dive. And that's really not the case on the pricing side and the real estate side of things. Is, we might not have been able to stretch our prices $10,000 or $15,000 above recent comps. We're probably, right at, or maybe just a touch above, like a couple $1,000s above recent comps. But we're still, a really strong seller's market, and there's still showings being done, and everybody's kind of taking some different precautions. So we've done a lot of virtual showings and gloves and hand sanitizer when we can find it, right? And
Right.
so we've switched to doing things a little bit differently, but it's kind of, the market as normal. So
So you're still seeing your listings. You're still getting listings coming in. People are still going to want to list in this.
yeah, we've still got 3 or 4 listings coming on in the next few weeks. We just launched one last week, and we've had about 7 showings, I think, even with all of this. So
I know you go into virtual showings as well. Have you set up?
yeah, we've got 3D tours, virtual tours, everything blasted everywhere. So if you've got some kind of health concerns, or you're one of those people that is kind of deemed high risk based on your health situation,
Right.
and we have some options, so you don't have to go there, or we've got gloves at the door if you do feel like you need to. And then we've been kind of telling our clients, hands in your pockets as you walk around, and we'll wear gloves and open doors, but minimize your contact as much as possible.
Right.
So things are still happening for us, which is good, and it probably will, just because of how short our supply was to start with.
Right.
So a little bit of easing is going to let some of those buyers who have been pushed out in the multiple offer situations have a chance, which is always good. So
Right. And that's what I was going to ask next is, are you still seeing multiple offers and, $10,000, $20,000 above list price in some of those 400, 500 ranges that we were seeing a couple months ago?
yeah, we're diving back a little bit. We're not getting as many as quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So when we've been out and showing houses for buyers and putting together offers, when we were 2 weeks ago competing with 9 other buyers and putting in escalation clauses and going $15,000 over and things like that, we're dialing that back because there isn't the need.
Right.
So you're still kind of expecting list price, maybe a few concessions, not many, but it's
Right.
not as aggressive as it was a couple of weeks ago, which is kind of nice. So that's a good thing for our market as a whole.
Right. I
Going,
agree.
yeah, 14% appreciation last month is a little unsustainable. So
Wow. Wow. That's a big
yeah,
number for sure.
that's a big number. So what else, Jackie? What else do we need to know about mortgages right now and all this?
I highly encourage people that if they're, still their dream is to buy, to, still talk to a loan officer, get on a plan, see if it's going to work for you right now, with what, that your credit looks like and with how much money you have. And, if maybe it's not today, I'll set you up on a plan and maybe we can save a little bit more money or help you get your credit score up so that we can get you into something, in your time frame. So I just know a lot of people, that are in rentals in the rental market, I get calls all the time that, oh, my landlord trying to increase me another $300 and, or next month I have to pay this. And, it's very scary for people when they have increase and they could actually own versus rent. So just trying to really encourage people that it's still a good time to buy. Obviously I don't have a crystal ball. And I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen in an hour. I could literally, get another email in an hour saying, that FHA went to 680. I don't know. And I just try to, inform people as much as I do. And when I have those types of loans and those scenarios, I call the clients immediately. I also wanted to mention though, the renovation loans that we had, those actually as well yesterday, we're going to suspend those at this time.
Okay.
So a lot of these programs are actually like suspended, not completely just gone. And the CNN Mortgage is not doing any of the down payment assist programs right now. We are not participating in those at this moment.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah, what we've told our clients is if you've got like a 5 to 10 year plan in your house, then the volatility in the market doesn't really matter. You'll be able to ride it out and make money and, live a life that you want to live in a house that you want to be in. So if you're looking at doing like a quick flip, this might be a little bit risky with holding costs. There's a lot of unknowns right there, but as far as buying like a home to live in and move on into, or even just buying a long-term investment for a rental, that's still a good buy right now too. So not looking to play that 14% appreciation game over the next year.
Right. Now, I was told somebody in my industry had mentioned something about seeing a 15% decline already.
And did I lose you, Jackie?
Areas. Have you noticed that anywhere?
We've seen about our numbers from our market study yesterday. We've got about, or Wednesday, got about a 12% increase in actives right now and about a 20% decline in pending. So there's about a 30%, easing in the market as far as the buyers' options and opportunities,
Okay.
which is good.
Right.
We were headed down to kind of scary lows as far as inventory levels go.
Right.
So having that come back a little bit and that demand slow down a little bit is all, like, anybody that's watching numbers right now as far as that stuff goes is kind of breathing a sigh of relief
Right.
that we're headed in a good direction as far as that stuff goes.
Right. And that's what the thing is I feel like there's so much, stuff that you read and you just don't know what to believe,
Yeah.
and, so many people are mentioning this and that, and, there's a lot of negative and positive things. And, I really just try to go off, the positive, and obviously this is such a hard time for so many people, but, just try to go off the positives and, go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you. I think we've talked about everything that we were going to talk about. I don't know if we missed anything yet.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, maybe we'll have to do this again like every week or so as things kind of keep changing. It seems like things change every few days. So,
Right, right. Well, yeah, for sure. If anyone has any questions out there, any specific questions, I'd be happy to help in any way.
actually, the last question I had for you, Jackie, is you guys do pretty much everything online anyway, as far as your application process and everything like that. Is there anything that would have to be in person if somebody, wanted to jump into the process now?
No, everything can be done online. So everything is pretty much paperless with us. So they create a portal. You log into the portal. You can upload all your documents into the portal, scan an email. So no, unless, obviously the closing, that would be done through title with the notary. And I did get, so I've been working with Equity Title off 32nd Street in Lincoln, and they were or are working on some type of notary system that maybe would be online now. So they're looking into
okay.
that. So I'm very interested to see, because I know for the longest time we've always talked about how we'd like to just be able to sign online versus having a notary. And this may push that. And, I don't know if Fannie, Freddie, FHA, all these, investors are going to approve that or be okay with that. But I know companies are in the works to try to get that set up. Should be cool. Have you heard about that yet?
I've just heard rumblings. I haven't heard anything final or anything like that. I know title companies are still just about the only need to be in person, face to face with somebody to get something done at this point.
Right.
Because inspectors can share on video what they're seeing and finding, so you don't have to be in that house with those people if you don't want to.
Right.
And if you feel unsafe. So that's basically our only in-person piece that's left.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, more to come on that. I'm interested to see how it play out.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy times. We'll see what the world looks like tomorrow, right?
I know. Oh, one of the other things that I did want to mention is about the verification of employment, because a lot of these companies are, not working, or, people are working from home. So those turn times getting verifications, the turn times on getting IRS tax transcripts, et cetera, those types of things are what's kind of delaying things to move very quickly right now. So we always ask, or I do especially, is, if you have any relationships or contacts with those people, get me in touch with them so I can try and get all your verifications done up front, just so there's no delay on the back end. But just on the processing piece of it, I wanted to mention, a little bit longer delays in some things because of, the shutdown of some companies.
Gotcha. That prompts another question, actually. Can you count your unemployment income as income to buy a house?
I think, well, no. So, I mean, you have to obviously have a job to qualify. So, yeah, at this point, not that I'm seeing that right now, but I don't know.
I wonder if that's coming.
I don't know if that's coming. Because, I mean, obviously, we don't know how long this is going to last for some people.
Right. So crazy. Alrighty. Well, sounds good. We've got some stuff to get back to, I'm sure. So thank you, Jackie. I appreciate it.
Really appreciate it. You have a great rest of your day.
Thanks.
Stay
You
safe.
too. Yes.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.